Yes, but I would give you an insight, first of all. I was born and raised in the UK, and we lived through post-war World War II trauma when the socialist government took over, and two distinct things happened. One was the imposition of national health, which is basically Obamacare plus, and the other one was the rise of the unions. And when I look at the United States, history is repeating itself. And so, you know, we could learn from that. Yeah, right. But we could learn from that. And in the 70s, the late 60s and 70s, when I was working over here, I was working for a large corporate organization, people would walk into my office and say, you know, how much worse can it get in Britain? You know, I didn't know the answer to that because I had no idea where bottom was or what it looked like. And then, two things happened. One, it got so bad that enough people got angry. And two, the right person came along at the right time, which was Margaret Thatcher. Now, I looked at the United States and I say, are there enough people angry? And I don't see it yet. There are too many people taking stuff out of the system and not feeling the pain of the rest, and not feeling enough pain putting stuff into the system. And I don't see any Margaret Thatcher. And so we had our Margaret Thatcher, his name was Ronald Reagan, excuse me. Is there a second one coming? Is there a second coming?
Well, maybe it's Marco Rubio. I don't know. It's a good, yeah.
My wife pulled my coat and she said, what was the question? The question is, what the hell's going to happen?
Well, I think it's a great question. I'll try to answer it briefly. I think my book is an exaggeration of what might happen, and it keeps me awake at night, honestly. I mean, I worry about this, as I'm sure a lot of us do. And part of me says that we're heading in this direction, and it's kind of like the fall of Rome. You know, it's bred in circuses to keep people happy. We were just watching the show Mankind on the History Channel on how Rome was a terrible welfare state right before it collapsed. People couldn't eat. You know, the government was giving out food. They were building big projects using government money. It sounds kind of familiar. So my fear is that we're going to end up like Rome, and I don't know the barbarians at the gate are going to crush us. Maybe we'll be lucky enough that in a millennium, those barbarians will have been civilized and we'll start a great society. That's one fear. The other thing that I say is that I think, and I don't know if this is just optimism. You know, when Mitt Romney made this statement, and a lot of my friends said, you know, 47% of the people are on welfare, so they like the way things are. I still have this hope, and I really don't know if it's realistic, but, you know, kind of the American dream. We still believed, you know, even when I was at Stanford and all my friends said Ronald Reagan was an idiot, there were still people who believed that Ronald Reagan was the hope of America, and there was people who still believed in, you know, Jimmy Stewart and John Wayne, those images that Hollywood used to give us, and said, you know what, if you're not producing something, if you're not building a business or raising your kids or doing something productive, but you're living off of others, you know, you can still strive for something better. I mean, we all used to do that. My grandparents were immigrants who came here. By the way, I was thinking about this today. You know, people say that, oh, there are jobs that Americans won't do. My grandmother sold brushes door to door because people believed that selling brushes was honorable, and it was an honorable way to get to save up enough money to get to the next thing, to open a store, to hire some people. I'm just hoping that the American dream is still there, but I don't see the Ronald Reagan or Margaret Thatcher on the horizon. I hope they show up soon.